2009, was the school's longest tenured president, one that inspired enormous growth and success. He championed CIM's expansion and directed the campaign that raised more than $40 million. During his presidency, CIM's endowment grew by more than 30%. Mr. Cerrone balanced CIM's budget for 12 consecutive years, doubled the enrollment, and created the Young Artist Program for gifted high school musicians. Along with his wife Linda, he co-founded the Encore School for Strings, a 6-week summer program for gifted string students from around the world, and oversaw the expansion of the preparatory and continuing education programs here at CIM. A strong proponent of the Suzuki method, Mr. Cerrone launched a master's degree program in Suzuki pedagogy and established CIM as one of the premier venues in the world for Suzuki instruction. His recordings of the Suzuki violin method books 1 through 4 are extremely popular, and he is an auxiliary director of the International Board of the Suzuki Association. President Cerrone brought focus and quality that led to CIM's reputation as a leader in chamber music. Today, CIM hosts an annual chamber music festival in collaboration with the Cleveland Chamber Music Society and employs leaders in the field on its faculty. He increased collaboration with the Cleveland Orchestra, CIM now boasting 35 members of the orchestra on the faculty. Prior to his appointment as CIM president, Mr. Cerrone served on the faculty of the Oberlin College Conservatory of Music and the Curtis Institute of Music. Additionally, he was a director and member of the faculty at Meadowmount School of Music. Along with David's wife, Linda, their studio became a virtual rite of passage through which nearly every young, talented American violinist would eventually pass. And yesterday, at our honors convocation, we heard just one of David's glorious products, Mr. Subin Kim, who we're honoring today also, in a masterful and moving performance. David Cerrone's dedication and love for the Cleveland Institute of Music will always remain part of our culture here at CIM. His knowledge of and engagement in everything that went on in the school, coupled with his deep musicality as a performer and pedagogue, sets an example for us for years here of seriousness, motivation, diligence, and the constant striving for perfection. On a personal note, David has been the most encouraging and supportive colleague to me, and I thank him for that deeply. I feel so very proud to be his lucky successor. So, David Cerrone, in recognition of your inspiring career as an artist, pedagogue, originator, and administrator, for your commitment to your own development under the tutelage of masters such as Misha Mishakov and Ivan Galamian, for the stature you have achieved as a faculty member at distinguished conservatories such as CIM or Curtis, for your dedication to the development of young musicians, exemplified in founding and directing the Encore School for Strings, for your accomplishments as a soloist in recital and celebrated ensembles such as the Cleveland Orchestra, and for your ardor for and loyalty to the performance of chamber music. We consider it fitting and in accord with the purposes of the ideals of the Cleveland Institute of Music to honor you on this 18th day of May in the year 2009. With the full approval of the Board of Trustees of the Cleveland Institute of Music and by virtue of the authority vested in me as trustee, I hereby confer upon you the honorary degree of Doctor of Music and admit you to all the honors, rights, and privileges hereto
We'll get better picture. Oh, good. Hoping.
I thank you, Trustee Rollington, President Smirnoff, CIM Board Chair Mal Mixon, CIM trustees, alumni, and my dear faculty and administrative colleagues.
To find my name listed among those who have previously been awarded this degree is the greatest single honor I could ever hope to receive. As I look through the lists, I see, among the many, the names of Robert Shaw, Tito Wisłowski, Marcel Dick, Donald Erb, and today's honoree, Misr'Da. And there are the names of those upon whom I was privileged to personally bestow this degree. Ellie Ameling, Eleanor Bates, Dale Smith, Christoph von Lochmann, Madeleine Nio, Shinichi Suzuki, Kurt Mazur, Leon Fleischer, David and Carol Rosa Banner, Klaus Roy, James Wolfenson, Louis Lane, Robert Conrad, William Woods, Pierre Boulez, and our very own Richard Pogue and Barbara Robinson, who is presiding at today's commencement exercises. How could anyone not be humbled in the presence of such a lofty and diverse group of individuals who, each in their own way, has and continues to contribute to the robust richness of an art form to which we are all so deeply committed. Having said that, I do share something quite separate from the names on that list, and which is very special and personal to me. I am referring to the annual freshman orientation speech. In years past, I so enjoyed delivering to so many of you who are graduating today. Do you recall that moment? Well, you might be interested to know that I have updated that speech since that time because we have to be ever more conscious of saving costs, you and for your parents. And so I've added a couple of items to that list. One, wash your hair only once. You don't need the second lathering, just one lathering. Number two, if you flatten the roll of toilet paper so the tube is bent a little and doesn't roll so easily, you will go through a lot less toilet paper. The same thing applies to paper towels. I remember the portion of my remarks back then in which I mentioned that a successful career in music would not be built upon making money, securing any one particular job, gaining power for power's sake, obtaining a title for title's sake, or seeking honor, just or unjust, but rather would be built upon the relationships you cultivate throughout the course of your education and foster throughout your career. I find relationship building to be a rather powerful leitmotif at today's commencement exercises, that along with the importance of personal interaction, beginning with President Smirnov's uplifting opening remarks and his example of the work that he has done with his colleagues and the relationships that he's cultivated, through the inspiring remarks of today's distinguished commencement speaker, whether it's the relationships she's had with her voice doctor, her voice teacher, or her shrink. Thus, I feel all the more comforted and reassured in the fact that the advice which I gave you back then will remain intact under the watchful guidance and leadership of the superb chamber musician, President Joel Smirnov. Graduates of the class of 2009, I wish each and every one of you abundant joy and success as you continue to develop your talent, define your character, preserve your health, and nurture the precious relationships which you have formed during your time with us here at the